Hey everyone, Internet Vicious Book Reader here. Today I want to talk about Venomous Lumpsucker by Beauman. Venomous Lumpsucker is a science fiction that won the Arthur C. Clarke Award for 2023. Since, at least according to them, this is the best science fiction last year, I decided to give it a try. The storytelling has a certain type of subtlety that, for lack of a better terms, I guess it is not hand-holdy. Sometimes key information is mentioned in passing in a blink and you miss it moments, which I personally really like, but I know it's usually not for everyone. And because this is science fiction and there are a lot of terms that is used only in this book, so to make it easier for the story in the video to be understood, just know that the world is set in the far future where the temperature has gone past the 2% threshold that we are trying to prevent right now, and a lot of animals has gone extinct, but it was not until the death of the last giant panda in China named Choo that the company in the story was made, World Commission of Species Extinction. At first the company was made to say, no more, there will be no more Choo, there will be no more extinction. But after their financial advisor told them that there is more money to extinction than the opposite, they try to keep extinction instead of preventing it. The first thing they do is to make sure that anyone can buy extinction credit that is currently priced at €38,432 per ticket. Then they can do whatever they want with the habitat of said species. And secondly, there is a bigger hurdle for extinction from intelligent species because intelligence, how relatable I guess. So they price the intelligent species as high as 13 tickets of extinction. From these events, a new type of industry was formed known as the extinction industry. Our two main characters, Mark Halyard and Karin Resain, work for one of these companies named the Brahma Samudra Mining Company. In case you haven't realized yet, the story took center stage in absurdity and it is glorious. Some of the scenes in this book is so over the top and so funny. And the story itself starts when one day at a famous research center in Leipzig, a scientist was caught turning the security camera off and trying to roofie a gorilla that knew more than 2,000 sign languages. Most people thought that it's because he wanted some sexy time with the gorilla. I mean, look at him. But biologist Karin Resain known that the purpose for giving the gorillas the drug is much darker, something that story won't tell you. Currently, she works in the Brahma Samudra Mining Company aboard the Varunam, an automatic mining vehicle that goes around the sea. She's not there to operate the thing, she's the onboard biologist that is tasked to watch the creature that the vehicle come across to and determine if they're intelligent creature that will need more protection money or not. Meanwhile, Mark Halyard works as the environmental impact coordinator for the company. He's basically works for the PR department of the company. He's going to a diner with his colleagues when the processors are launching tomorrow at them. Actual tomorrow is the launch version of Choo-Choo's cloning device that the group are throwing using catapults. He was having dinner with a depressed friend whose wife just died, and because of the hospital fee for her, he doesn't have enough money to scan her on a smaller cellular level to be saved on the data bank for a future cloning project. Meanwhile, the food that they ate are prepared using better technology, which result in meat smaller than his wife's scanned cellular level. The meat, which has been cut to a width of 100 micrometers, shriveled away to nothing the instant you touch it with your fork. It was like trying to eat the surface tension of a glass of water. Really, the Carpaccio was a biotechnological stunt, much like the tumor. So their meals are disastrous to say the least, but the night eventually passed to an even worse morning where Mark received the worst news of his life. A biologist named Karin Resain has just announced that she's going to make the venomous lumpsucker an intelligent species, which is bad for Halyard for various reasons. For one, Halyard was one of those groups that always felt shorted in life, an entitled guy, which is why he became an entrepreneur. He missed an opportunity to capitalize on a drug that side effects are omitting food depression, a new depression that resulted in food no longer being tasty after most sea become acidic and land no longer produce as much carbs. So only the very uber rich can eat tasty food now. And Halyard is not uber rich, so most days he cannot eat tasty food, and worse, he cannot buy the stock for the company that makes this food depression erasure drug. So when he found out that the World Commission of Species Extinction is going to change the rule to declare a species going extinct into as long as they exist in the data bank, they cannot be considered as extinct. Halyard knew immediately that once the rule is announced that the price for the extinction credit will go down significantly. Seeing a chance to short the market like their GameStop stock, he sold all 13 extinction credit that he got from a job when the price of the credit was still at $67,000. Earning $171,000 that he used to invest in crypto like a good entrepreneur boy that he is, knowing that he can just buy the extinction credit back once it got much cheaper. But one of the deadliest virus attacks was launched to the species data bank companies, erasing hundreds of thousands of species data. A worm so bad that it is said that it will kill a nation and win war if it's launched as a direct attack to any nation. And seeing the news of this attack, Hayat knew immediately that the plan to change the extinction rule was out of the picture because the species database are no longer an imaginary safe haven for the species. Worse, he already approved mining the colony of a certain venomous lumpsucker just a few days ago, without waiting for the announcement from the onboard biologist if the venomous lumpsucker is an intelligent species or not. So if the report that the venomous lumpsucker that he just put to extinction become official, he'll need to buy 13 extinction credits instead of just one. He need to go to the Varuna to change Karin's mind about the venomous lumpsucker importance. Time is ticking, and on his way to go there, the extinction credit has gone from a mere 38,000 to 287,000. Then Hayat and Karin finally met. Their conversation at first just won't connect at all since Hayat is speaking like an entrepreneur where every word needs to be cryptic and important sounding like some kind of passive-aggressive person. But for now at least, for different reasons, they have the same goal, to find this goddamn fish. The author I think did the funny part really well. Mark Hayat is definitely not a good person since the plot started because he's trying to cover up his own fuck up. But he's also not entirely irredeemable. He's just oblivious enough to also be really funny in a way where we can laugh at him, not with him. And because when placed near the slightly more normal human being like Karin, he's like a fish out of water since his usual hangout place is with fellow orthodox people from the entrepreneur world. If you like comedies like I Think You Should Live, you will almost definitely like the comedy in this book. And of course, with having such a loser as a main character, it makes for a good chance at a great character arc, a redemption, which is just okay in this book case. Also, while the story can go very absurd, it is still very grounded in reality, so it's still very easy to believe. Just like any good satire that parodied and exaggerated reality, at the end of the day, there is still a reality that is parodied. The post-climate change war is still based on a lot of actual true story of what has happened in our world and what will happen in our world. It's just the scale is much larger and affect more people. And by having Hayat and Karin goes out to different parts of the world, searching for the venomous lumpsucker, trying to make sure that it's not going to be extinct, we get to see the damages that humanity has caused to this future world of theirs. Of course, it's not a great source of information because when all is said and done, it is still fiction, but it's still such a great fun following these two journey anyway. They're the kind of duo where they are mostly at each other's throats, but they have some fun back and forth between them that build chemistry quite well, like Eva Rosalind and Neil Watts from To the Moon for example. And in this book, these two weirdos are some of the most normal ones out of all the characters introduced, which make for some really fun interaction. And while it is mostly comedy, the story can still have a somewhat serious conversation between someone who cares about human and someone who does not care about human, about extinction and our role in it. Like a neurodegenerative disease, extinction was a slow hollowing, not a shortcut. The death of the last holdout was in some sense a mere formality. And overall, if you like story like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, this book had some of the closest vibe to that, even with the lack of towel and space. But it is unfortunately also include parts where some jokes don't land that well, some scenes that can drag for a while, and some scenes that got in the way of the story. So overall, I give this a 3.75. What do you think? Let me know if I missed anything, so leave your thought in the comment below and subscribe to the channel. That's about it.